Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to Hopeful Luck. Just found some articles, a couple off of End Time. This website, I always forget the name of it. End Time Headlines. Okay, I always think End Time News for some reason. But End Time Headlines, and I also saw something that a brother put up from WorldStar earlier today. So, gonna go into this, bring out some precepts and laws, and this will be edifying, just to show that everything written of in the scriptures is true. So, first article from End Time Headlines, it says Elon Musk and Enlink. I'm gonna just in case to be careful. Enlink are looking for volunteers to trial B computer, as you can see there, right? And this is the same guy, Elon Musk, with the Enlink, that was also testing it upon monkeys. I believe they even showed a demonstration of the monkey playing ping pong, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and you have certain men in Israel who are dancing around what the MOTB is, but here is an article. Here is proof that is giving you more proof that is a physical thing, that you're able to identify what it is, right? It's nothing doing some signal with your hand or anything like that. No, we're able to identify what it is, and you're also able to to know that they want to put it inside of your body. So that's two things right there, or two questions that you should at least ask with the MOTB. What is it, so that way you can identify it, and what is the purpose of it, right? Or where they want to put it in your body, or what do they want to do with it, I should say, which is to put it inside your body, which is what was shown with the monkey. It says Tesla and X CEO, which stands for Twitter. He changed the name to X. Twitter used to be called Twitter. Now it's called X for whatever reason. It says CEO Elon Musk neurotechnology company. Screw it. I'm going to just say it. Neuralink has revealed it is looking for people to trial its, I'll be careful with that, brain computer CHIP, despite fierce criticism of its deadly animal tests. It says the company got the green light from an independent review board to start their brain computer interface testing on people suffering from paralysis from cervical spinal cord injuries, or the English language, something lateral sclerosis, or whatever that was, ALS. It says Musk has previously claimed that his BCI, okay, we'll call that BCI, will enable someone with paralysis to use a smartphone with their mind faster than someone using thumbs, which this is what, through his technology, his miracles, that's how he's going to deceive the people into taking the MOTB. Because it's going to be shown that this thing is a good thing, that, hey, this thing can heal your body, that this thing can this thing can make you see, this thing can make you walk. Think about it. The monkey was playing ping pong. A regular monkey without that BCI in its head wouldn't have been able to play ping pong, right? So imagine if we can get putting a BCI into a monkey, and it could start playing ping pong. Well, imagine what we could do with humans, with people. There's people, right? Because think about it, they'll use these excuses. There's people out there suffering. There's people out there in need. This technology can be the new thing that pushes people to get healed. Let's put this out there so that way people who are blind can get their sight again. People who are paralyzed can walk again, right? You as a father that got injured in a car accident, don't you want to walk with your children again? Don't you want to be able to have time with your family and enjoy the pleasures of life? Don't you want these things? Right? That's how they're going to come to you. They're going to appeal to the people's emotions, so that way people can look at it not as an evil thing, right? But this is a thing that if you take it, you're going to be put to death by the Lord for it. He's going to leave you there in the lake of fire and melt you. Right? And some people look at this like, oh, that little thing, look at how much good it's doing. But they don't tell you about how much evil that's really going to come with that as well. That with that small CHIP comes a lot of control that they're going to have over you, right? That's why they mention things like the climate change. Damn it, why am I forgetting it now? Climate change, um, carbon emissions, things like that. Needing to be able to control the people, control the population of how much people eat, carbon emissions, and all that. So with this small CHIP, this subdermal device, that's how they're going to be able to control the people. Fuck yeah. Got a little bit of a cold. That's how they're going to be able to control the people and have power over them. And if you have anything to say against them, they could just shut off your thing, shut off your device, and you won't be able to function in society, as is written of in which I'll get at Revelation 13 and 16, or 17 really, that no man could buy or sell save he that had the mark, right? And that word save meaning unless. So unless you have that thing, you're not able to function in society. Unless you get down with what they want to do, you're not able to function in society. It says he and his company will now initiate recruitment for the first human trials of its brain implant, but neither stated the number of participants to be enrolled in the trial, which is expected to span approximately 6 years. Which also, they already have this going on in Sweden. So again, if you want to be able to identify what the MOTB is and how it correlates to what John the Revelator saw, just look at Sweden. There's plenty of videos that you could put up MOTB Sweden, and it'll probably pop something up that what people have a small device, again, identification, a small device that most of the time they have it in their right hand, but they may have it in their left or wherever else, right? But most of the time it's in the right hand. A small device, again, identification. What is it? It's a small device. It's in their right hand, and with it, they're able to access certain things. They're able to buy certain things. They're able to do things, which is what John the Revelator saw. I keep mentioning it, so let's just go into it, because that's the spirit. Also, Salakia. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb just in case I got a random call. Salakia about that. Right. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, and he calls it all. Who is the he? The elites, right? It's not just one person. It's a group of men that have this idea about controlling the world, right? And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Pretty much that's very straightforward. That's pretty much they want to make the entire world, everyone. Whether you're a regular person, whether you're in prison, whether you're rich, you're poor, low class, middle class, high class, it doesn't matter. They want the entire world to take this. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Again, very straightforward. Let's not make this into something that it's not. It says what? To receive a mark in their right hand. Okay? It is something that is going inside of your body. Again, two questions that you should ask with the MOTB. First question is, what is it? Which I'm going to go into when you go into that word mark. Right? First question that you need to ask is, what is it? Right? It is a small device. Let's go into that word mark. Right? Let's go into the identification of the MOTB. When you go into that word mark, the first word there is charagma. Charagma basically means an etching or thing, sculpture, graven work, basically to cut into the flesh, right? But if you're going to cut into the flesh, you need something to do that. You need a tool. When you go to the root word of charagma, it is charax, which is a pale stake palisade. Basically, it's the sharp instrument used to cut into something. Example, a tree. If you want to carve into the tree, you don't use your finger, right? Because your finger is obviously not sharp enough, unless you got spiritual power. But your finger is not sharp enough to cut into the tree. You would need a knife, right? A knife that is sharp to cut into the tree and carve your marking in it. Pretty much, the modern day charax would be a syringe or a needle. That is what the tool or the instrument that would be used to cut into the flesh right? The Karax is the syringe or the needle and performs charagma, which is cutting into the flesh, right? But that's not all it's going to do. Then when you go to the root word of Karax, the root word of Karax is grapho, Slakin, which says here to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down, record. So on that small device, it's going to have your records, your information, your bank information, your social security number, whatever it is that's on it. That's going to be able to identify who you are. The same information that you have today. Again, use your state ID, driver's license, credit card. All that is going to go into that small little device that's going to hold all that information, and that is what's going to give you access to be able to function in society, right? Again, see how we've identified. If you come to me, I'm telling you what the MOTB is. It is a small device that's going to have your information on it, and that is how you're going to function in society. Identification of the MOTB. So now that we've identified it, and I can give you another example, going back to Sweden again, you have people over there that pretty much are using that technology, which is what? They have a small device in their right hand, and with it, if you watch certain videos, they're able to unlock doors that you wouldn't be you couldn't open with the key. The only way it opens if you swing your hand in front of the sensor and it reads your little small device, and then it will open. If I remember specifically, there was a guy that was showing a woman it, and how he there was like some let's just say a refrigerator or something with some drinks in it, and he was yanking at the door and it wouldn't open. But the minute he waved his hand in front of it, he was able to open it, right? See, now he was able to get the water or the drinks or whatever that was inside of it. That is how you're going to be able to partake in society, by having that small device. Excuse me, right? Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, excuse me, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And when you go into that word, like I was saying, and no man might buy or sell, save he. When you go into another word for save is unless. So, and no man might buy or sell, might buy or sell unless he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And I want to go into that word buy, because the word buy is agorazo, or when you go to the root word of it, agora, and the agora would be the marketplace, right? So what is John the Revelator saying there, right? With the understanding of the words, right? Let's go back a bit. Let's read that again. Verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, right? Save he that had the mark. So no man is able to buy anything or sell anything, right? Be able to partake in the agora, in the marketplace. You're not able to do what? Transactions, save or unless you have that small device inside of your body, because all the proof shows that what? That is another thing. What, like I mentioned, what do they want to do with that thing? They want to put it inside your body. Now, there's a sinister plan, a more sinister plan that they're not telling you, but it's about control. It's about the New World Order. It's about having complete control over the whole world, right? Because the control that they have now is not enough. They want complete control over everything and over people. So now we've again identification of what it is, small device. What do they want to do with it? They want to put it inside your body so that way they can regulate and control what you can do or how you function in society. That's why things like I was mentioning, I don't know why it's escaping me now, but carbon emission or carbon footprint and things like that. There's the excuses that they're bringing up. Oh, people, the cows are farting too much. There's also the Malthusian theory, right? Or I believe that goes back before it was called the Malthusian theory. It was what was it called? The limits to growth. How eventually there's going to be so much people on the earth that the earth won't be able to supply people with food. So we have to limit how much people eat and how much people buy. That is all with controlling the people, rationing you how much food you get. They show you that in movies. If you ever played the game The Last of Us, that's literally like the first, I want to say 5, no, maybe not 5, because there's like a little prologue. Maybe about 30 minutes into the game, you see the world how it is in a post-apocalyptic, a setting, and you see how people are getting food rations and things like that. Right, these are the things that they don't tell you. They just tell you that, oh, with like the CBDC, central bank digital currency, this is going to make it easier for people to connect and things like that. But they're not telling you that how it's going to be easier for them to connect to you and to control you and to have an eye on everything that you do. So going back to verse 17 again, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So you're not going to be able to function society, complete transactions, receive transactions, unless you have that small device inside of your body. And pursuing to Revelation 14, it doesn't matter if it's in the right hand. It's just mostly a thing that they always do where it's in the right hand. But it could be in the left hand. Brothers jokingly say it could be in the butt cheek. It could be in your chin for all you care. So long as you've received it and taken it, there's no repentance from that. You can't turn back from taking that. Right? So I'm going to read a little bit more, then jump to the next article. It says, during the study, a robot will implant the small device, or the CHIP, in a brain region responsible for the intention to move. Musk aim is for the person's thoughts to control a computer, cursor, or keyboard. So with the thoughts of the mind, can they make this thing move, or this cursor move up and down, right? In May, Neuralink announced it had obtained FDA clearance for its first in-human clinical trial. The company initially wanted to test on 10 humans, but reported FDA concerns saw the number revisited. Although the final figure was not disclosed publicly, part of the organization concerns come from animal testing of the CHIP. In April 2021, the company demonstrated its progress by showing a macaque with one of the Link CHIPs playing Pong. I'm guessing that was the name of the monkey, because that was what it was doing, was playing Pong. Pager is shown using a joystick, or maybe the monkey's name is Pager. Okay, whatever. It says it's shown using a joystick and then only its mind via the wireless connection, according to the company. However, the animal tests have also yielded negative press. The company reportedly implanted Bluetooth-enabled CHIPs into the monkey's brains in an effort to communicate with computers via a small receiver. It is thought that the unfortunate test subjects suffered infections from the implanted electrodes placed in their brains. And let's go to that. I believe that's Revelation 16, right? Because again, that is another reason, not just for the judgment, but also, here it is. You're going to receive something for taking that MOTB. So this is Revelation chapter 16 and verse 1. It says, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying, to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the MOTB, or the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So those who took the MOTB before even the judgment came, as it's written of in Revelation 14, they're going to receive a noisome and grievous sore, right? And if you read it in the NLT, it says, so the first angel left the temple and poured out his bowl on the earth, and a horrible and malignant sores broke out on everyone who had the mark of the beast and who worshipped his statue. And when you go into that word, where is it? I believe it's sore, right? It says helkos. It says a wound producing a discharge, pus, a sore, an ulcer, right? Ulcer says an ulcer occurs when stomach acid damages the lining of the digestive tract, but I'm guessing that's inside the body. But this is going to be what? On the outside, on your hand or in your brain. Now, this is when it comes to stomach ulcer, which I didn't want that. I just wanted to, let me see if I could pull up the definition. Right, here we go. It says an ulcer, an open sore, an external or internal surface of the body caused by a break in the skin or a mucous membrane that fails to heal. So that thing's gonna damage whether people receive it in the right hand or in the forehead. That's gonna damage your body to where it's gonna leave a pus, right? A noisome and grievous pus either inside of your brain, inside of your head, or on your hand. That's gonna lead to an infection, and you're gonna get sick from that. And who knows what could come from that? Right, an open sore. Let's see. Okay, it keeps going to stomach ulcers. All right. But if I'm not mistaken, ulcer also is, if I'm not mistaken, cancer, if I'm not mistaken. So if you people want cancer, you go ahead with that. All right, so that'll be this for this first first article. I want to get this one pretty. This one will be pretty quick. Says mother in Portland only gets 30 days of jail for waterboarding baby, putting him in a freezer as test for dad. So, as you know, not trying to be funny, but as Future says, it's an evil world out here. And yeah, it's an evil world out here for real. It says, this person that's supposed to be, the mother of your child, that's supposed to take care of her, I'm sorry, take care of the child, you can't trust these women out here because any little thing, if you get another woman, or if women are very just so jealous in this world that it's like you just belong to them. They're very masculine women these days in their approach to men, that if a woman even looks at you, if a woman even gives you any type of attention, you may not be even, wanting the attention from another one, but just because, you know, a woman shows you attention or anything like that, and you may be around your girl, or whatever, and she sees that, she'll get very offended in this. Oh my God, why are all these people paying attention? Oh, girls must really like you. Women are very masculine in their approach and how they deal with men. It's not coming from a feminine, standpoint, where a woman who is in her femininity is gonna be okay with sharing her man, right? But that masculine behavior that they show is really a trait that as a man is supposed to have. A man is supposed to be protective of his property and things like that. Now, a woman can be protective of her man to a fault, because a woman's not going to want any man around her man just like that. But really, you women should be in the mindset of sharing your man, and you're going to do it regardless if you like it or not. The time is coming. So, and regardless if you realize it or not, even now, some of you women share men and you don't even know it, or have shared men in the past and don't even know it. So, think about it. If you can't stop a nigga from doing what he wants to do, as far as going out there and sleeping with another woman, what makes you think that you could stop a man who is in his right mind, especially a man of Yahweh Bashim Shai? And not saying that brothers are just going to go out there slanging their thing around, but just being honest, like, if you can't stop a nigga from going out there and doing his thing, what makes you think you can stop a man that knows his worth, knows what he's about, is confident in himself? You think you can stop that as well? No. So, gonna go through this. It says a mother was sentenced to 30 days in jail after Oregon prosecutors say she waterboarded her baby and put him in a freezer during during a 2021 incident as a test to see if the father cared. So you see, there were some differences between the father and the mother, and this woman, demons came upon this woman, and she was like, "Oh, well, I want to see if the father cares. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna waterboard the child." This is the first thing you think of. This is how demonic women are, and how these spirits, them being the weaker vessel, how easy it is for spirits to come into their mind and make them do crazy things. Oh, I want whatever their issue is. That demon started making her think in her mind, oh yeah, daddy think he this and that. Oh yeah, daddy, I want to see if your father really cares. I'm a waterboard this child. Really, you're gonna waterboard the child? Matter of fact, let me get this precept. I don't want to rant, but at the same time, spread out some precepts or a precept. I believe it's a Micah I'm looking for. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Right? Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Now, the arise ye and depart doesn't mean that you leave America, but it means that you leave here mentally. You don't invest your mind here as you used to in this place. Now, you still take care of your business, obviously. If you have a job, you have a family and things like that, you still do your responsibilities and your duties as a man, but you don't invest your life here like other people do, because the scriptures say what? That it will destroy you even with a sore destruction. Right? It says, even in the NLT, it says, up, be gone. This is no longer your land and your home, which this place was never our land or our home. Well, really, this land did belong to Gad, another northern tribe, but it says this is no longer your land and home, right? For you have filled it with sin and ruined it completely. Now, this is going back to the time of, when Jake was living in the land of Israel, but today here in America, this place has completely been ruined. Feminism has ruined the minds of women to where women think that they are above men. Again, I was given the example of what? Women are very masculine these days. They think that they pretty much own you and you belong to them. Where it's the other way around when you read the scriptures, that the man was not made for the woman, but the woman was made for the man, right? Scriptures talk about a woman being an helpmeet for a man, not a man being a helpmeet for a woman. But here in America, because things are upside down, left is right and right is left, here in America, women think that you're supposed to help them and be a support to them. And all they're supposed to do is just open their legs and give you the kitty, and you're supposed to be satisfied with that. But that is America. The minds of people have been completely ruined. So going back, it says a mother was sentenced to 30 days in jail after Oregon prosecutors say she waterboarded her baby and put him in a freezer during a 2021 incident as a test to see if the father cared. Sharday McDonald, 30, pleaded guilty to charges of criminal mistreatment, ID theft, and tampering with a witness after police showed up at her Gresham, Oregon apartment on October 28, 2021. To perform a welfare check because someone reported the mother putting her baby in the freezer. It says when the police officer was outside McDonald's apartment, the mother could be heard yelling at Kendrick Neal, the father of the child, I'm about to show you real quick. You don't want him? Let me show you about this little, I'm going to guess it says fucking baby I don't fucking give fuck about. A probable cause affidavit obtained by Fox News Digital states. I'll read this last paragraph. I believe this is a statement from the police. It says, it looked like the baby was trying to hold his breath while water was pouring over his face, the officer said of the pictures. In one picture seen by the officer prior to the arrest, McDonald was holding the baby by the onesie in a downward angle where his hips, legs, and feet were higher than his head, almost upside down, with water running over his face. The only place the water could go in that picture was in his nose at that angle. It pretty much could drown the child. All because of you're angry at the man for whatever reason. And obviously this is all judgment of the Lord, and this is why we want this madness and stuff to continue, because yeah, we talk about the judgment of the Lord and these people rightfully deserve these things. But after a while this becomes irritating, just hearing and seeing your people being complete reprobates, just this madness. Just here it is, there's no peace in the home, which that should be the first place, because your home is what sets you up or what prepares you for the world. And if you have no peace at home, if there's no teaching in the house, how are you going to be prepared as a young man or even young woman for the world? Or how, for a woman, really, how are you going to prepare to serve a man and things like that, right? Again, your house is your first, the peace, and where you are taught how to, deal and function in society and the world. If you don't have a father there, or if a father is not really how he's supposed to be, the man of the house and things like that, to, show you how you're supposed to be and, bring you up in being a man, how are you going to be able to, again, function in society, operate in society? That's why you have a lot of men that, don't know how to operate with women, don't know how to talk to people and things like that. They're very, socially awkward because the father never instilled any confidence in them as a young man. Again, sometimes the father may not have been there, or sometimes the father was there, but it was like he wasn't even there, right? So, you know, there needs to be peace in the house so that way the children can grow up and function in society. But when you see the mother and father going at it, imagine if they had another child and the child was like, let's say, I would say 5 to 6 years old, and they see that, they're going to mimic that same thing when they get older because they think that that's okay, right? A lot of even our, tendencies that we tend to have, if you didn't grow up in, the best, you know, households and things like that, some of the things that you do it because you've seen that your parents do it, because that is, you've pretty much took that with you. And then that's why you sometimes go around treating other people the way that you do, not knowing that you treat them that way because you've seen that growing up and think that that's okay. And it's, the saying, old habits die hard. That's why sometimes men grow up to be abusive husbands because they seen that their father was drunk and belligerent and abused the mother. The daughter would see that the mother would slap the father, not show obeisance or respect to the father. So then she grows up thinking that that's okay. This is Ephesians chapter 5 verse 16. It says, redeeming the time because the days are evil, right? And we're in them evil days, right? Like I was saying jokingly, what Future said, but it's true. He's like, it's an evil world out here, but yeah, it is an evil world out here. You gotta be careful. I'm saying this like the brother Ashiar always says, I'm saying this even to myself, that like, you gotta be careful with some of these women that you get out here, because some of these women are not fit mothers. Some men are not fit fathers. You know, a lot of these people, we gotta remember, for us in this faith, a lot of these people have demons and spirits on them, and these spirits are eventually going to get activated to where they're going to be doing some crazy stuff. Here it is, a mother is waterboarding her child and probably saying, "Oh no, I wasn't trying to do it." And it's like, yo, you definitely were waterboarding the child. Whatever situation it is between you and the man, you don't bring the child into that. You don't do that. But again, obviously, this is judgment from the Lord and things like that. I don't believe in the article that said that the child died, but as it's written of, shall evil be done in the city, and the Lord had not done it. Isaiah 45:7. I create darkness, I create light. I, the Lord, do all these things. So whether it be good, whether it be bad, that happens in a person's life or in the world, the Heavenly Father through His Son is the one that makes these things happen. So that happening, the Heavenly Father orchestrated that. But reading Ephesians chapter 5 verse 16 again, it says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And knowing that the days are evil, you got to understand that these people have evil mindsets. These people have evil spirits on them. So you got to be careful when you're walking amongst these people, because you may be amongst these people and they have a smile on their face like, hey, how you doing? And things like that. But you got to know, at the flip of the switch, if anything goes bad or something like that, these people can just act real demonic real quick. Think about it. We're just a couple of, I'm gonna just say, a couple of 9/11s from people losing it, and people just, those demons, you seeing those demons activated in these people. Just have a 9/11 event happen, but just times 10. Or like the January 6th event, have that happen, but this times 10. You know, don't just have one person die, have a bunch of people die, and see how these spirits that activate in people. For you who think that we're crazy and we're saying, you know, nonsense, just have, again, a 9/11 happen, a 9/11 event happen, but times 10 or times 100, and see if you don't see these evil spirits that are on these people activate. These same people that you see, oh, hey, how you doing, that are regular, you're going to see a totally different person. You're going to see the spirits that they have on them very quickly. And last one here, I believe shit, don't tell me I messed it up. Okay, I did. The brother Amaja Allah put this in the chat. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, cool. Hopefully no ads. If it ads pop up, oh well. It says serial killer is on the loose in LA, killing female black models. I'm gonna play it, you know, listen to what happens and bring out some precepts. You women that don't want to be under a man, you're gonna have a tough time out here. And for you women that are under a man of the Lord, the man that's in this faith, hey, may Yahweh Shema shall have mercy upon you and your household, and stay underneath that man, because that man cares about you and that man is caring over your soul, right? Because us here in that the Lord has put his spirit upon, it's not just about your body and things like that. It's about directing the household. It's about actually caring about your spirit, you know. Out there in the world with those wolves, all they care about is your body. All they care about is your box. Here in this ministry, we care about your soul. We are working also for your salvation, because we don't want a woman to die and things like that. We don't want you to get burned to the nuclear fire. Now, obviously, that is not of us. We don't have control over that. But still, we are also working for your salvation as well, right? We're hoping and praying that, you know, brothers that may have wives or whatever, you hope that your woman makes it. You know, you're not really like, ah, bitch, if you burn, you burn. Unless you got a demon, then if you have a demon, then hey, whatever. But if you have a good woman, she does right by you, you know, you hope, hey, Lord, may how about Shemash have mercy on her. So you women who are with good men, a man that's in this ministry, stay with him. The man's only doing what he's doing to protect you and keep you from the wolves out there. Because best believe them wolves don't give a damn about you. And those wolves that I'm talking about is them niggas. So gonna listen to this, bring out maybe one or two more precepts, and Lord's willing, this is an edifying video.
Find out who did this to her. She shouldn't be gone. But we need to know. We need to know what happened.
Family members of a beautiful young model who recently discovered her dead in her downtown Los Angeles apartment are crying foul play and explain they are frustrated at the lack of answers and information coming from investigators. 32-year-old Nicole Coates, known as Nikki, told friends she had a date on Friday, September 8th. That's the last they heard from her. She didn't answer calls or texts during the weekend, so her father and aunt visited her luxury apartment 2 days later, located at 8th and Grand. That's when they made the gut-wrenching discovery.
I couldn't recognize her.
You feel there was some level of violence with this death?
Yes, I do.
You believe it was murder?
I believe it was. I really do. One of her legs was up in the air in a kicking position. That's not nobody that's just laid in their bed and died.
I don't know who she went out with. What transpired there, I have no idea. But I'm going to find out. So if you're out there, you're going to get caught. You're messing with the wrong person.
The LA County coroner.
Quick precept. Because you see, these things wouldn't happen. First and foremost, it starts with the father in the house. I'll bring out Sirach chapter 6, I believe. Right? Because a lot of women... where is it? Is it chapter 6? Where is it? 7? Okay. Right. This starts with the fathers in the household, right? Because these things wouldn't be happening if you fathers were a lot more strict and a lot more on your daughters, instead of having them just run out and do things or doing whatever they want to do. Now, obviously, sometimes, you know, especially in this time period that we're living in America, you know, children are just very disobedient. No matter how much, you know, You try to discipline them, they don't want to listen. And with ESO, with Child Protective Services or things like that, oh, don't abuse your kids and things like that, or discipline them. The state gets involved and things like that, and they can get away. You get your kids taken away, and then so for fear of that, some parents don't even really discipline their kids. I was raised in the era when I got beat, so I don't do that nonsense. But and I thank Yahweh Shah, he never gave me a spirit to do foolish things. But this is Sirach chapter 7, verse 23. Hast thou children, instruct them and bow down their neck from thy youth. So you're supposed to instruct children on how they're supposed to be. Obviously the sons, but definitely the daughters as well, because in this time period how things can be, what other men or young boys want to do to your daughters. You being a man, you know what it's about. You know what these young men want and things like that. And if you have one of these young men get with your daughter, they could lead your daughter to whoredom, right? Have your daughter doing a bunch of crazy things out here. And that develops a certain behavioral pattern in your child, to when they grow up, they'll just want to mess with every, as the term is called, monkey branch, mess with every different type of man and have themselves out there until eventually they're out there. And like this incident with this young lady, or two young ladies, but this first one in particular goes out there on a date with some dude and gets, the mother said she didn't even recognize her. So I'm guessing her face was beat so badly that it was unrecognizable. So again, Sirach chapter 7, verse 23, it says, hast thou children, instruct them and bow down their neck from thy youth. You're supposed to instruct the kids so that way they're not out there doing foolish things, and that way they don't get into trouble or get into danger. Hast thou daughters, have care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them, right? So especially with your, daughters, you're not supposed to be, oh, my daughter, my beautiful little baby girl. Now, obviously you love your kids, but you want to be very stern again with your children, especially your daughters, because brothers say it all the time, which is very true. Women are like children, and if you've been around children like I have, you'll know that children do a lot of dumb fucking things. Things that'll make you be like, why the hell are you doing that? Again, I've been around kids, and the time that I've watched kids, it amazes me sometimes. I'm like, yo, I just told you not to do that. I just told you, sit down. And they will still do the opposite of what you tell them to do. Or sometimes women will sometimes act very erratic and be like, I don't know why I did this, or I don't know why I do this. Because women have a very childlike mentality. And this is just being honest and true. This is why just seeing something recently, actually, I believe I don't know what the hell she is. I'm guessing she's a rapper. I don't pay attention to famous people. But Remy Ma, I guess she cheated on Papoose or whatever. And she put out some video of her playing some Beyonce song in the background, but she's like showing her body and things like that. Now, these are things that you would think. Now, Remy Ma, I'm very sure she's like in her 40s. But you would think a woman at her age, who's probably in her 40s, you wouldn't expect her to do something like that at her age with, I'm pretty sure she has kids with Papoose and she has a husband or was husband. Don't know how the situation is going to turn out with that. But yet here it is that a 40-something-year-old woman is doing something that a young 20 or even younger woman would do, or a younger woman would do. There are women who are in their 60s and things like that who still act like they're 20. Why? Because women don't mature past a certain age. This is not harsh. This is not misogynistic. No, this is just the truth. And obviously after examining women, because there is a manosphere out there, men have identified female nature and examined them and seen women do not mature past a certain age. This is why it's a lot more, you have to be a lot more stern on your daughters than your sons. Now, you still have to be stern on your sons, obviously, but you want to have more of a care over the daughters than the sons, because it's very easy for women to get themselves into trouble and to do things and to be swayed and to be controlled into other things. Women have a hive mentality where they like to follow people. Men have a more by themselves mentality where they're just loners and things like that. Not all men, but most of the time us men like to roll solo and do things by ourselves. Women, on the other hand, have a hive mentality where they need the reassurance of other people. Is this okay? Is that okay? If you analyze women, you'll see that they do that. This is why some women will probably sit there and watch this video and say he's misogynistic. But if you analyze it, even if you watch like some of these like Fresh and Fit, what do you always see? A bunch of women. You see at least more than 5 women on that show with Fresh and Fit, whatever it may be. Why is that? Because that's how women move, in a pack mentality, in a hive mentality. They need multiple of them, and they need to be reassured by other people. They don't have their own mind to where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this or this or that. Men have that mentality. And it's very easy for women to be deceived. Verse 25, it says, marry thy daughter. So when it says marry thy daughter, it's not saying for a father to what? Marry his daughter. No. But it's what? Having a care over your daughter. Keeping a very close eye on your daughter. Right? So it says, marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. Right? So again, marrying your daughter doesn't mean that the father actually marries the daughter, but he's keeping a very close eye on his daughter, right, on his property. It says, but give her to a man of understanding, which is, in this time period, a lot of women do not go for a man of understanding. They go for the Chris Browns, the cute guys, and things like that. Why? Because women's mind, brother put me onto his book, which I didn't buy the book, but I've listened to the audio book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And that book gives a lot of information that shows you the differences between men and women. It lets you know how women think and how they operate and things like that. And women and their mind, their brains do not think the same way as men. This is why some of you young men out there get frustrated. Like, why does she do this? Why? You gotta understand, women's brains do not operate the same way a man, or should I say this? Women do not think the same way a man thinks, right? Don't believe the hype with like Steve Harvey, women think like a man or anything like that. No, women do not think like a man. They think emotionally. Men think logically. Why is this happening? What's going on here? And then what? Men are very solution-based as well. Women, on the other hand, are emotional. And what? They think they move emotionally first. And sometimes when a woman talks, sometimes it's not even to talk to find a solution. It's really just to let out their emotions. So sometimes, when you're talking to women, and this all comes from that book, sometimes if you're talking to women and she has an issue or problem and you're trying to bring a solution, sometimes it's best not to bring out the solution, because that's how Eve is. She doesn't want a solution for a problem. She just wants to talk and vent and let out her emotions, because they are very emotional creatures. Right? So here it is, you bringing your problem solving solution, saying you should do this and you should that. And she's like, why aren't you understanding this and that? You're not saying anything wrong. You just have to understand the female nature. They don't want a solution. They just want to talk their emotions out. They just want to let their feelings out. That's how the Most High created them. That's how the Most High created us. We're very opposite. We're very different. We are not the same. They can't do what we do, and there are certain things that they do we can't do, i.e. have children. Sorry for stretching this out, but I'm going to get through the rest of this. Right? So again, but give her to a man of understanding. So if fathers were more on their daughters and were more present in their life and things like that, and give them over to a man of understanding, a man with, obviously, the perfect man would be a man of Yahweh Bashim Ashah. But if you were to give your daughter to a decent man, not letting your daughter just pick and choose these niggas out here, you wouldn't be having this single mother thing. You wouldn't be having more niggas out here in the streets. But, everything will go back in order very soon. So this could have been prevented if the father was more in the life. I don't know the situation. And if the father was more involved, he could have prevented, if he was more on top of his daughter and instilled things in her brain, or gave her over to a man of understanding, that his daughter wouldn't be dead right now.
Coroner's office says the case of Nicole Coates is open and the cause of death deferred. That means the cause is undetermined and further investigation is needed. However, Nikki's suspicious death is alarmingly similar to another recent case. During a welfare check for concerned family members, police discovered the body of 31-year-old model and real estate agent Melissa Mooney on Tuesday afternoon. She was inside her luxury apartment, Sky, at Bunker Hill on South Figueroa Street. The LAPD is not releasing any details, but confirms detectives are investigating the young woman's death as a homicide. Family and friends are devastated, and neighbors are extremely concerned. The family of Nikki Coates is watching that case closely.
I feel myself is a predator loose.
But that's it on that. Gonna bring out this last precept. And again, Lord's willing, this video is edifying. So, you women that, again, that subscribe to feminism, that don't think you don't need a man, we shall see if you don't need a man. All right, Jacob's Trouble is going to show you the importance of a man. This is, right, Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 2, right? So, when things get crazier, and like the mother said at the end, I think that there's a predator out there loose that's, targeting women. Well, it's going to get more and more, there's going to be more and more men like that out there when society crumbles and, as the saying goes, all hell breaks loose, right? And we will see what happens to you women for you women who again, subscribe to feminism, that say you don't need a man, that you're okay with it, or certain women, us women, we protect everything. Men only protect what they control. Us women, we protect everything. Well, when the time comes, okay, lady, protect men. Protect yourselves, protect other women, protect the elect, right? Because you say you protect everything, right? So protect the elect as well. Seeing as how you're such a god or a goddess, show up. Don't just talk about it, be about it. But according to the scriptures, we know where the protection lies. First and foremost, that lies in Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai and then his men, right? Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 2, it says, "And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest," right? The wind, the tempest represent the hard times. The all hell breaks loose, right? It says, "A man shall be as an hiding place," right? Meaning that what? That covering. Because what? Lord's willing, we're of that number, or whoever is of the elect. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, is the elect's covering, right? But who's going to be your women's covering, right? Because as written of in the book of Corinthians, the head of Yahweh Shai is the Heavenly Father. The head of man is Yahweh Shai, and the head of woman is what? The man. But according to you women, I don't have a head. No man is above me. I'm not being submissive unto a man and things like that. Or I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that. That's slavery. That's some old time stuff. So if a man is going to be a hiding place or a covering from the bad times for you women, but some of you women sit there and say, you don't need that, who's going to help you from these bad times? Because sure as hell won't be the Heavenly Father. Because you're going to need to have a man. You're going to need to be under the protection of a man, one of his men, right? Again, it says, "And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." So as the rivers of water in a dry place, so there's no water. It's parched out there. It's dry, hella dry, right? And if you're in a desert, where are you looking for water? And that's what a man's going to be looked at. He's going to be, as it says, let's go to it. I know I said I was going to end it, but a man's going to be looked at as valuable, because right now men are not looked at as valuable. Jacob's trouble will be the catalyst that makes, as it says here, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12, it says, "I will make a man," the I is talking about the Heavenly Father. It says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir." So the Heavenly Father is going to cause Jacob's trouble, or, as their saying goes, all hell breaks loose, shit hits the fan. That is going to show the value specifically in his men, but it's going to show the value of men. Men are going to go to their natural state. Women are going to go to their natural state. Women are not going to be acting masculine in those days. And men who act feminine in those days will get put down, right? So in those days, men are going to be in the natural state, women are going to be in their natural state. And men are going to be the protectors, right? And men are going to be, protecting women and things like that. Men are going to be the one who are looked at as, valuable in that day. Right now, the way society is right now, you women are looked at as valuable and things like that. But when there's a lack of food, people are dying left and right, you're not going to be looked at as valuable. So, it says, and if you read the NLT, it says, I will make people scarcer than gold, which not people, but men scarcer than gold, right? So there's going to be a very limited amount of men on the earth. Some of them are going to die off in the war. Some of them are going to die off in the streets of America. So again, get ready to share, ladies, right? What's the saying? Sharing is caring. Get ready to share. Get ready to care. But pray this video is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the whole elect. Shalom.